March 10, 1876. A laboratory in Boston. Alexander Graham Bell's hand was trembling. He called out to his assistant in the next room. "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." That voice traveled through the wire to the next room. The world's first telephone call. The 29-year-old inventor understood the weight of this moment. 3 days earlier, he had obtained the basic telephone patent, US 174-465. And now, he had achieved practical success. 2 choices crossed his mind: sell the patent and live as a researcher, or commercialize it and change the world. Bell made his decision. In that moment, the history of communication began to move. 4 months later, the Bell Telephone Company was born. The initial investors numbered just 5. Capital, $450,000. Their goal was clear: spread a telephone network across all of America. But everyone had doubts. Will the telephone truly catch on? At the time, the telegraph was the dominant means of communication. Western Union controlled the market. Bell and his team would challenge a giant. 1878. The first commercial telephone exchange opened in New Haven. Subscribers numbered just 21. Operators manually connected cables. But this small exchange became the starting point of the communications revolution. People experienced the wonder of conversing by voice for the first time. Faster than telegraph. More convenient than telegraph. Demand expanded rapidly. A year later, subscribers grew to 138. The telephone network began spreading from city to city. 1885. Theodore Vail presented a bold vision: connect all of America with telephone lines. The board of directors was stunned. Is such a thing even possible? At the time, long-distance calling was technically difficult. Voice signals weakened with distance and became unintelligible. But Vail was certain. Technology advances. We're investing in the future. AT&T was established, American Telephone and Telegraph Company. As its name indicated, building long-distance lines, including interstate connections, was its mission. 1907. Vail returned as AT&T president. He returned to the front lines of management after 22 years. During that time, the telephone industry had fallen into chaos. Independent local telephone companies proliferated without compatibility. A Boston phone couldn't connect to New York. Vail resolved to end this confusion. His philosophy was clear: universal service for all people. One policy, one system. Throughout the nation, it was a declaration for a unified telephone network. December 1913. AT&T reached a historic agreement with the federal government. The Kingsbury Commitment. It was a compromise with antitrust authorities. AT&T made promises. Guarantee connections with independent telephone companies. Divest Western Union stock. In return, the government dropped prosecution. Telephone service is a natural monopoly. One unified network is more efficient than competing networks. Vail's strategy bore fruit. AT&T became a giant dominating American communications, albeit under regulation. January 25, 1915. Alexander Graham Bell picked up the receiver once more. 39 years earlier, he had invented the telephone. And now, that telephone spanned a continent. From New York to San Francisco, a distance exceeding 400 miles, 500 kilometers. Bell called out to his former assistant, Thomas Watson. "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." Those were the same words as the first call 39 years before. Watson in San Francisco replied, "This time, it will take me a week to get there." Laughter erupted in the hall. Technology had made the impossible possible. All of America was connected by one telephone network. 1925. AT&T made a historic decision: the establishment of Bell Laboratories. It would become known as a major corporate research laboratory. The purpose was clear: revolutionize communications technology through basic research. AT&T invested enormous funds. It reinvested profits from its monopoly into research and development. From here, remarkable inventions would emerge. December 23, 1947. A laboratory at Bell Labs. John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, William Shockley. 3 physicists gazed at a small device. It was a germanium crystal, just a few millimeters. Yet this tiny device would change the world. The point-contact transistor. It was a semiconductor to replace vacuum tubes. Compact, fast, low power consumption. It was announced the following year in 1948. Starting point of the computer revolution. The foundation of the information age. Everything began from this moment. AT&T's monopoly made this invention possible. Enormous profits supported basic research. 1952. AT&T made a surprising decision. It began offering transistor technology through low-cost licenses. And in 1956, through a consent decree with the government, existing patents would be released royalty-free. Why would a monopoly release its patents? It was in response to antitrust law. The government allowed AT&T its monopoly in exchange for sharing technology. This decision changed the world. Sony launched the transistor radio. Texas Instruments developed the integrated circuit. The computer industry was born. AT&T's technology spread worldwide. The 1970s. Researchers at Bell Labs were creating something new. Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. They developed an operating system called UNIX, and the C language. It became the common language of programming. These technologies were primarily distributed to universities and research institutions. Why? Due to regulatory constraints, including the 1956 consent decree, AT&T found it difficult to market software as an independent business at the time, so it released the technology. As a result, Unix and C became world standards. They became the foundation of the Internet. The constraints of monopoly paradoxically created the democratization of technology. November 20, 1974. The Department of Justice filed suit against AT&T. Antitrust violation. It was a challenge to a century-old monopoly. The government's argument was clear. AT&T is stifling competition. AT&T also dominated telephone manufacturing. Through Western Electric, independent telephone manufacturers couldn't enter the market. Long-distance communication was also monopolized by AT&T. Regulated monopoly had become outdated. Technology had advanced, and communication options had increased. Satellite communications, microwave communications, data communications. Yet AT&T was conservative toward these new technologies. The government decided. Break up the monopoly. January 8, 1982. AT&T surrendered. Chairman Charles Brown signed the agreement. 8 years of courtroom battles. It ended in this moment. The modified final judgment. It was the decree of AT&T's breakup. Brown's hand trembled slightly. An empire that had lasted 100 years was about to end. The conference room fell silent. No one spoke a word. History moved. January 1, 1984. Midnight. AT&T was divided. 7 regional Bell operating companies, RBOCs. Ameritech, Bell Atlantic, Bell South, NYNEX, Pacific Telesis, Southwestern Bell, US West. Under each company were regional operating companies, Pacific Bell, New York Telephone, and other local phone companies. People called them the Baby Bells. 107 years of monopoly ended in this moment. After the split, regional companies moved to RBOCs, while AT&T initially retained long-distance services and equipment/research divisions, Western Electric/Bell Labs. 1 million employees were reassigned to new organizations. It was one of the largest corporate breakups of its time. After the split, American telecommunications fell into confusion. Consumers were bewildered by the multitude of choices. Local phone, long-distance, international calls. Each required choosing a different company. Rates became complex. Bills ran to many pages. But competition drove prices down. Interstate long-distance rates declined from the 1980s onward. Time of day, contract plans, discount services. Rates varied greatly by condition, but overall continued to fall. Technology also advanced rapidly. Mobile phones, the internet, fiber optics. Competition accelerated innovation. The 2000s. History took an ironic turn. The baby bells began reconsolidating. In 1996, Lucent separated from AT&T. In 1997, SBC Communications acquired Pacific Telesis. In 2000, Bell Atlantic and GTE merged to form Verizon. In 2005, SBC acquired AT&T and revived the AT&T name. 20 years after the breakup, the telecommunications industry had returned to oligopoly. Today, the national mobile carrier market is centered on three companies: AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Fixed line and broadband competition varies by region, but the mobile market is clearly oligopolistic. Furthermore, in the 2020s, government subsidy policies like BE-Aid made implementing universal service a major theme once again. Competition is shaped not just by the three mobile carriers, but by MVNOs, fixed wireless access (FWA), and advancing fiber optic deployment. The monopoly was broken up, yet ultimately returned to oligopoly. And now, the universal service that Vail championed is approaching true achievement through satellite communications from space, beyond terrestrial cables. AT&T has partnered with AST SpaceMobile to advance plans for satellite communications using ordinary smartphones. The century-old ideal of eliminating dead zones is evolving into a space-based network. Yet parts of the copper cable network that once connected all of America now face new challenges as a negative legacy, an environmental problem. Lead-covered cable soil contamination. The physical infrastructure built through a century of monopoly has become a maintenance cost and environmental risk in the modern era. So what can we learn from this story? First, monopoly enables long-term research and development. AT&T's Bell Labs reinvested profits into technology. The transistor, the laser, UNIX, these were its fruits. Second, competition promotes efficiency and innovation. After the breakup, telecommunications rates fell dramatically. Competition accelerated the spread of mobile phones and the internet. Third, markets seek balance. Neither excessive monopoly nor excessive competition is sustainable. History shows a return to oligopoly. Finally, the tension between regulation and freedom is eternal. Regulation brings stability but inhibits innovation. Freedom brings innovation, but also creates chaos. So I ask you, monopoly and competition, regulation and freedom. In this eternal tension, what should we choose? AT&T created technological innovation through monopoly, but that monopoly blocked competition. The breakup created competition, but 20 years later, it returned to oligopoly. History offers no perfect answer. It only continues to pose the question: if you were a policymaker, how would you decide? Technological innovation through monopoly and efficiency through competition. Which should take priority? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this journey. AT&T's story reveals the eternal dilemma of business and regulation. On this channel, we explore wisdom for today from these historical blueprints. If this exploration resonates with you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Next time, we'll unlock more strategic secrets left by history. Until next time.